Hello everyone, this is Vignesh from Phoenix Financial Training, here to share a few tips relevant to the June 2019 ACCA Advanced Financial Management examination. The AFM exam, as you might all be aware, has 3 questions that you need to complete in 3 hours and 15 minutes. Historically, AFM has been one of the papers where students have found managing time a significant challenge. And that's often due to spending too much time on the numerical elements of the exam. You will observe, if you look at the past exam papers, nearly half of the exam is written content. The intention of the examining team is to test not just whether you can do loads of calculations, but also your conceptual understanding on key financial issues that affect an organization. In view of that, you need to be thoroughly prepared on all key areas of the syllabus, not just being able to do the calculations, but also being able to discuss some of the computations that you have done in the context of the scenario that you're given. More so specifically for the June 2019 exam, it is important that you are thoroughly well prepared to do a foreign Npv computation and be able to discuss the risks and issues associated with a venture in a foreign country. It's quite possible that you may be asked to perform additional calculations and discussion around risks surrounding the project, including the sensitivity of certain variables, the sensitivity of the Npv to changes in certain variables. A common feature in exams these days is you being asked to discuss certain aspects of the financing policy of the company. Now, this may include you being asked to discuss what factors would affect the way a company finances itself based on certain facts in the scenario, or merely you being asked to discuss the merits and demerits of alternative sources being considered by the organization. You must be very, very well prepared on the area of risk management, in which you are virtually guaranteed a question on either interest rate or foreign exchange risk. Practice of past exam questions on both interest rate risk and foreign exchange risk, particularly focusing on hedging techniques such as futures, forwards or FRAs in the context of interest, and options, will allow you to sort of get a taste of the kind of questions you would generally be expected to have. In addition, I would also advise you to be thorough with the concept of interest rate swaps, as well as be familiar with how you undertake multilateral netting. It is important to note that in such questions, you are not just required to manage the risk using futures, options, or swaps, but also be able to discuss whether a company would prefer one over another and why it would prefer one instrument over another. So please be prepared to discuss your answer, not just do the computations. The area of mergers and acquisitions is a core part of AFM, and besides being able to discuss issues surrounding a merger and an acquisition, such as regulatory issues that a company might face that may need to be managed in a takeover or a merger, you will also be asked questions on valuation of companies, most probably using commonly used methods like free cash flow valuation or the PE ratio methodology. Along with questions on value of projects and NPVs, another important area that's often fits into the scenario is the concept of real options, such as the option to expand a project or option to delay a project or option to abandon a project. Students like yourself need to be prepared to do not just computations using the Black-Scholes option pricing model, but be also able to discuss how real options have an impact on the value of a project. Besides this, given the nature of the exam, the examiner can always build in written elements, testing a conceptual understanding on concepts like demergers, management buyouts, management buy-ins, Islamic finance, the role of treasury, and so on. So it is important that you spend a bit of time being thorough with these underlying ideas, what they mean, and how they can be helpful or potential problems that companies may face in undertaking such arrangements or going through such changes. So this summarizes what I think you need to be focusing on over the days going to your exam. I wish you all the very best and hope you're able to manage time really well, spread your time across all the different parts, and score the marks that you desire. Good luck.